Hi there, this is a quick overview of some of the things that you can use to manage your inbox, your documents, you and also other people to a certain extent. So I thought I'd start with my inbox to show you how I work with that and Todoist. So one of the first things is I have an out of office set up. So every email I receive, my out of office tells them that I'm busy doing something else and I will come back to them as soon as I can. This manages everybody's expectations. They don't expect an immediate response. Now you can put the time frame that you will respond, because what you can do is hard landscape your diary. And by that I mean put in your diary all the stuff that you have to do. So process your emails, review proposals, do your finances. Everything that needs to happen in your business or your life needs to go into your diary, because it's only by things being in your diary and mapped out can you start to see where your time is being eaten up. So if you hard landscape your diary, that will make a huge difference to keeping organised with minimal effort. So this is just an out of office response, so I can delete that. The next two I will come on to in a moment, because they're a neat little add-on to Gmail that you can use. So brochure requests. I'm sure you get inquiries from your website and they always come through the same subject line. Now you can have Zapier automate this for you, or if you want to keep control of the process, then you can set up canned responses or quick parts responses in Outlook. So all I need to do is respond to the email, click down here, and I have a canned responses, and I've got a brochure request response. So many thanks for your email. You can download the brochure here, and then that links through to my Google Drive, or you can have it linking to OneDrive or Dropbox, wherever you host your folders, and then click send. So that's dealt with the brochure request. And so now someone's asking to research holiday destinations. Now that's not something that's going to be a 1-minute task or a 2-minute task, so I'm going to add that to Todoist. So you can sync Todoist to your Google Mail and to your Google Mail calendar. So from here all I need to do is add to Todoist, research holiday destinations tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's always best to assign like tasks together, so I do my research at my desk, so everything that's desk related I'm going to put in the at desk folder, and then I add the task. So it's now showing in Todoist, and if I go over to my calendar, there it is, 4 p.m. tomorrow. If I go back to my emails, close Todoist, and I need to file this. Now this is a new project, so I need to assign it a project number, because that means I can keep track of all of the documents to do with that project, and it also gives me an infrastructure to follow, which is really important to keep everything organised with minimal effort. So to do that I go to Trello, and I've got one partially set up here, so research holiday destinations, and I've completed the due date, who the client is, because I'm going to share this with somebody else and I don't necessarily want them to see all of the email correspondence, but they need to see what the project is about. I can add power-ups here, and the power-ups, you get 2 free power-ups. So I've used project fields, which are these here, and I've added track passage, which links to UPS DHL, but there's loads. You can sync it to Pipeline, all sorts of cloud-based apps. It's quite astonishing. So I've created my new project folder, and the moment I push that into Leads, what that will do, Zapier will create a Zap that creates a folder in Google Mail and also in Google Drive. So again, I'm creating my infrastructure with all of the automation happening in the background. So I've created my new project, and as you can see, it's now appeared here. So I've got it filed on Todoist, so I can keep a track of the task there. It's in my calendar, so I've scheduled time to do it. I've created a project folder, so I know where it's going to be filed, so all I need to do now is file it, and that's out of my inbox. So here we've got a purchase order from a client, and they are requesting an order confirmation. Now I'm not going to do that now because it's going to take more than 2 minutes. So I'm going to send them an email just to let them know I've got it, and then I'll schedule time to do it. So if I respond to the client, I've got a canned response for that. Many thanks for your order. I'll send the invoice tomorrow along with confirmation of dispatch. Send. So that's also a new project. So I need to create a new project folder and move it across to Leads so that my folders in Google Mail and Google Drive are all in sync. And I need to go back and assign time in Todoist to do the project. So new boots purchase order tomorrow at 3 p.m. Again, I'm going to do that at my desk. Add task. And then I can file it in my new boots project number. So reverse megaphone, invoice to do. So we can let them know that we're going to do it with a canned response. We've got the reverse megaphone already set up because I've already had conversations with them about it. So add it to Todoist, and all of those are now stacking up in my diary. So perfect. I know that tomorrow afternoon I've just got to sit there and do some work at my desk. So I can file this. So Zapier hasn't quite pushed through yet, so that's fine. So legalese inquiry, thank you for your email. So that's from me to the client. So that's an existing project. And you might wonder why that's in my inbox. The reason it's in my inbox is because every email I send, I get a copy back to my inbox. And the reason I do that is because then all I've got to do is click on a project folder and the whole email chain is then contained within it. So we can file that. Again, this one was from me to the client, just saying when would you like to go ahead, we'll be delighted to help. So I can add that to Todoist as a follow-up in 3 weeks, so then I don't lose track of it. That's an email follow-up, add task, and we'll put that into the new kitchen skills. Big delivery, thank you, all received and everything is fabulous. So that's great, that's just closing off a project really. So that goes in there. So let's go back to the top because we've sent emails, they've come back, as you can see, it's in my inbox and in my inbox sent folder. So I just need to file that in reverse megaphone. Zapier still hasn't caught up with me yet. Takes about 5 minutes for Zapier to come through. So what I'll do, I will just pop those reverse megaphones in my waiting because I'm waiting for Zapier. New boots, many thanks for your order. I'll send the invoice tomorrow so we can file that. This is my out of office that I mentioned to you earlier, so I can delete that. This is the brochure request that we sent through to somebody, so I will put that in Leads. Now you'll see here I've got a 1 in front of Leads, and the reason for that is that most email systems, email clients, they show folders alphabetically, whereas I don't want to see them alphabetically. I want to see them in the order that makes sense to me. So I use numbering, and you can also use an asterisk, and that will bring the item to the top of the file tree. I sent an email a couple of days ago to Siobhan asking what her availability is for next week. When I sent that email, I used a little bit of kit called Boomerang. And what Boomerang does is you can compose an email, and if you're waiting for a response, you can click down at the bottom here to either send it later or boomerang it in whatever time frame you want. So in 2 days, if I've had no reply or it's not been clicked, so I'll say no reply, and then I send it. Now, if that person doesn't respond in 2 days, then Boomerang automatically returns it to that person. And if they still don't respond, the message is moved to the top of my inbox to say that there is still no reply for that conversation. So I don't have to sit and wait and chase and chase and chase. I mean, I would always add an email like that to my to-do list anyway, so that I know it's there and I can keep track of it. So this is the email that I sent, and I would add it to Todoist. In 1 week. That's an email follow-up, and add my task. So all of these items are in my diary, and if I click on any one of them, then the email appears in my inbox and I can respond directly from there rather than having to scrabble around. So what we've looked at here is setting up a filing structure that you will use across all of your systems. And the reason that it's really useful to use across your systems is it gives you an infrastructure and a framework within which to work. But also you can link your finance documents using that project number. So you can use it on your invoices in the reference here, your credit notes, your purchase orders, everything, which means you can see the profit and loss on a job very, very easily. And then the filing structure is mimicked here. So again, it just gives a really easy search facility. So when I'm going through my emails, I'm not answering and responding to every single one. With every email I open, the first thing I ask is what's the next action and how long will it take? If it's going to take me 2 minutes, then I'll just crack on and do it now. If it's going to take longer than that, then I need to either schedule time or delegate it. And either of those two actions need to be tracked, which is where you use Todoist. So to get the inbox down to 0, the emails for Siobhan, they need to go into my waiting folder. And the brochure requests, they go into leads. And that's it, my inbox is back at 0 again. And then this afternoon, I will go through and process all my emails again and make sure that I've got time allocated in my diary to do all of the things I need to do to keep my business going. One of the things I really love about Todoist is that it works on mobile devices as well as desktop. And because it's task related, it's not attached to your CRM, it's attached to you. And at the end of the day, you wear a lot of hats and you do a lot of things, from clearing out sheds to buying the groceries to whatever it might be. And that's the point about to-do lists. They're not isolated, they're yours, and they need to be able to manage your business and your personal life. And that's one of the things that Todoist does really well, because you can create different labels. So errands, if I'm going into town, I know I need to pick up my dry cleaning, my shoes from the menders, and you can change the labels to suit whatever it is you need. But the key thing is to group like tasks together, and whatever it is that you need to do or that you want to do is to think about what the next thing is you need to do to move that forward. So if you've got to clean out the shed, perhaps you've got 3 bikes in there you need to get rid of. So you need to phone someone and ask them if they want those bikes, or put them on free cycle. Or if you're going to a conference and you need to see if you can display your promotional material there, all you've got to do there is just email the conference organiser and then shove it in your waiting folder. So it's whatever is the next thing, the next action that's going to move a task or a project forward. Whether that's a call, waiting on someone, an email. Get everything out of your head, get it into Todoist, or one collection bucket. That's Todoist, your collection bucket. Pop it in there, and then you can start to track it. And to be honest, that's the easiest way to keep things organised and relaxing. So that's what I would do, is just try to set up some key things that will work within your business, and I'll happily talk to you about some of the stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis, or some of the repetitious tasks that you need to do, and we can see if we can find a way to automate them. I also heartily recommend downloading the supporting document, which will talk you through tying up your loose ends, how the next actions work and the supporting structure, so your projects list, the next actions list, etc. It will also explain why weekly and daily reviews are incredibly important, and will give you an overview of some of the software I use to help me get more stuff done. If you'd like to find out anything more, then please do give me a shout. I'll be very happy to talk you through any of the areas that aren't so clear. Thanks very much for listening. Bye bye now.